It was not pretty today, folks. Lions get completely embarrassed in Charlotte. It's the Postcast. Let's get to it as the winning streak is over.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Here we are, everybody. It is Matt Dery with you. It's a Christmas Eve edition of Locked On Lions, the Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Indeed, your team every day. Again, Matt Dery with you on this, a Saturday, December 24th, and a Christmas Day, December 25th. Thanks for joining us, making us your first listen. It was not pretty today down in Charlotte. Carolina 37 and the Lions 23. The three-game winning streak is over. The 6 out of 7 and the feel-good vibe around Allen Park and 222 Rodwood Drive is also done as the Lions drop to 7-8 after today's awful showing in Charlotte. We're going to get into it. We're going to dive in. I'm not going to go too deep into this thing. Why should I? The Lions got pummeled today by a bad Carolina Panthers team. You want game balls? I'm not handing out any game balls to any Lions. You know who gets game balls? Ike Ekwonu, Brady Christensen, Bradley Bozeman, Austin Corbett, and the pride of Okemos, Michigan, Taylor Moton. Those five guys on that Carolina offensive line all get game balls, and that's it. You know, Sam Darnold, DJ Moore, they played well. On the Lions side, yeah, I like the hustle from John Kaminsky, and sure, Khalif Raymond wasn't bad, but the five guys that start along the offensive line for Carolina absolutely dominated today. And the Lions, who've been physical, who've been tough, who've won games on the road, whether it was cold weather, warm weather, braving the elements, whatever, you figured today, down in Charlotte, where it's 30 degrees for the first time ever, coldest kickoff in the history of the bank down there, Bank of America Stadium, 29 degrees everywhere it was. You figure the Lions are going to roll up their sleeves and get dirty, get cold, get in the trenches, and win the wars up front. And they lost them all. They lost them all. The Panthers opened up the game and ran the ball right down the Lions' throats. Carolina ran for a franchise record 240 yards today in the first half. They had two guys, Foreman and Hubbard. We're not talking about Roger Craig and Tom Rathman here. We're not even talking about Jamal Williams or DeAndre Swift. This was Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard. Both had 100 yards in the first half. The Lions got pushed around today. The D-line, my goodness. Aiden Hutchinson, where were you? The linebackers, awful. The secondary against the pass. They let Sam Darnold today. Sam Darnold disposed of by the Jets, benched by the Panthers on 2 occasions this year. Throw for 250 and a quarterback rating of 121.4. Foreman ran for 165, Hubbard 125, DJ Moore 5 catches, 83 yards and a touchdown. Deep ball after deep ball. Okudah was brutal today. The safeties were bad. Today was a bad performance. Now, is the season over? Is it SOL all over again? No, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Today was a clunker. It was a bad performance. But the Lions still have a lot to play for. Seattle lost today. The Giants lost today. At the time of this recording, the Commanders are losing. The Lions are still in the playoff race. They've now got to bounce back and handle their business next week against the Bears, who, oh, by the way, all they do is run the ball. And then Green Bay. But today, to not be able to stop the run at all for the first drive, Panthers go 80 yards in 5 plays, all running plays. Was brutal. And if they can't stop Sam Darnold on some RPOs, what are they going to do next week against Hall of Fields? A brutal performance today. Then on the other side of the ball on offense, the Lions couldn't block anybody. Jared Goff at the end of the game when the Lions were trailing and just trying to get a score on the board and maybe an onside kick, Jared Goff was getting obliterated, decapitated by Brian Burns, and Gross Matos and all those people from Carolina. They were destroying him. I almost wanted to see Nate Sudfeld on the field just to get Jared out of the game so he's not hurt for next week. Goff was forced to throw 42 times today because the Lions' running game rushed 17 times for 45 yards. Jared Goff was the Lions' leading rusher today with 15 yards. Now, again, because they were down so much, because the defense couldn't get off the field, they were forced to throw, but still, their offensive line couldn't block. Goff was getting hit, sacked twice, and the run game was non-existent. It was just a bad performance today from the Lions. And coaching-wise, give Steve Wilkes and the Panthers credit. They saw some things on film, and they took advantage of it. Whether it was pulling guards, pulling tackles, and destroying the Lions up front, whether it was batting down like 4 or 5 passes. Jared Goff was like Michigan's John Navarre with volleyball back in his face. Panthers coached better, played better, and the Lions got beat today. And they got beat by a team that isn't any good, but you know what? Carolina was playing for something. They got shredded at home last week, and they came out with a purpose today. Unfortunately, the Lions couldn't match it. And again, season's not over. I'm not going crazy. It was a bad performance. Every team's going to have a few clunkers when you play a 17-game schedule. Even the Chiefs have a clunker. Even the Bills have a clunker. But today, that was embarrassing. It was really bad. They just kept getting pushed around. 240 yards, a franchise record for Carolina in the first half rushing. They end the game with 320 yards on the ground. And by the way, this is now the 4th time this year that the Lions have given up 200 yards or more to the opponent. That from our crack research staff, which is the same amount of times that they gave up, same amount of number that they gave up back in 2008. And you remember what happened in 2008. They didn't win a damn football game. Not a good performance today from this football team. We're on Twitter at Dery Speaks, Dery Speaks, at Locked On Lions on Twitter, the Matt Dery Facebook fan page, and of course, shout out to everybody watching on the YouTube channel. Lions fall to the Panthers today, 37-23. I don't really have a ton more to say. What can you talk about? It was bad all around. The team was brutal today. But I do want to tell you that Locked On Lions today is brought to you by and sponsored by our good friends. If I could just find the beautiful overlay. There it is. Let's do this the right way, shall we? Locked On Lions is sponsored by Betterhelp. Get on your way to being your best self. Online therapy, Betterhelp Online. The show is sponsored by Betterhelp Therapy Online. All right? Easy. You want to talk to somebody, you want to get some help. You're not sure what to do when it comes to a therapist, and maybe you just want to do it online and check it out. There's no better place than BetterHelp. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills. Which makes therapy the closest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine called you. That's why you need to go to betterhelp.com/lockedon. It's simple. Want to feel your best? Want to talk to a therapist? It's simple. World's largest therapy service is BetterHelp Online. They've matched millions of people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists, available 100% on the web. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedon. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedon. And hey, Matt Dery here to tell you about our friends at LinkedIn Jobs. Oh, that is right. Post your job for free at LinkedIn Jobs. They help you find the right people for your team faster and for free. I posted jobs on LinkedIn.com, and you can as well. LinkedIn Jobs is the best, all right? These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. That's why you need to go to LinkedIn Jobs. Add your job in the purple hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you are hiring. It's simple. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnfl. That's linkedin.com/lockedonnfl to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. 37-23 today. It was an ugly performance from your Detroit Lions. It's the Postcast. Matt Dery with you. Thanks for watching, making us your first listen right here on Locked On Lions. 2 games to go for the team. They've got to flush this game. This was ugly today. Deontay Foreman did whatever he wanted on the ground. Chuba Hubbard, the same thing. I mean, even Sam Darnold ran for a touchdown today. Somebody named Raheem Blackshear had a touchdown today. 3 touchdowns on the ground. Lions found themselves down 24-7 at the half and really could never recover. All right, DJ Chark had a pretty good game today. 4 catches for 108 yards. Caught that 51-yard pass deep. One thing we didn't talk about was the turnovers. This game changed when it was 7-7. Lions driving. First quarter. Jared Goff inside the 10. Fumbles the snap from Frank Ragnow. We've waited for this. It's been due. Jared Goff hasn't turned the ball over in weeks. And guess what happened today? First of all, he was wearing a glove because it was cold. And then just drops the snap from under center from Frank Ragnow. That was a huge momentum shift in this game. Panthers took the ball down the field and scored, put up 17 straight points in the second quarter. And just like that, it was 24-7 at the half. Lions also didn't have a takeaway today, which was key. This was something that the Lions have been doing all season. They've been better in the giveaway takeaway game. They were +9 over the last 7 weeks. One of the reasons why they were 6-1 in those 7 games. Today, -1. All right, when Ife Melifonwu is your leading tackler and all of his tackles are 30 yards down the field, big problem. Big problem. The Lions were terrible today defensively. Just brutal. No sacks today, and only, and no quarterback hits on Sam Darnold. Sam freaking Darnold, the same guy that a couple of years ago came into Ford Field in Matt Patricia's first game and lit up the Lions as a jet. Today, lit him up also for 250 and a touchdown and a passer rating of 121.4. And again, the Lions leading rusher today was Jared Goff for 15 yards. Swift, 4 carries, 12 yards. Jamal, 7 carries for 11 yards. Ouch. St. Brown did his thing, 7 catches today, 76 yards. Shane Zylstra caught 3 touchdowns. I guess I should give a game ball to Shane Zylstra. 3 touchdown catches from Jared Goff, all inside the 10-yard line. Shane Zylstra. But this was a bad performance today. But the Lions have to flush it, and they got to win next week on New Year's Day against the Bears. But I was surprised at how much they got pushed around today. Some dumb penalties. Isaiah Buggs body slamming the guy and starting a little bit of a skirmish. Pass interference calls. It was not a clean game. It was not a good performance. And again, the Lions now have to come home. Bears, New Year's Day, then at the Packers, January 8th. Win those 2 games and hope for some help. Commanders are down 27-14 as we record here. They're likely going to lose in San Francisco. So the Lions are getting help. They got to take advantage of it next week. All right. Thanks for checking us out today. A mini postcast. I'm going to go celebrate a little Christmas Eve with the family. Locked On Lions, we're here all week. We'll be back on Monday. We'll get the PFF grades and more. We'll talk to Ross Tucker this week. We'll do the crossover on Thursday with Lauren Cox, the host of Locked On Bears. All of it right here on Locked On Lions, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Brutal performance today. Flush it and get ready for next week against the Bears. But they got to fix this run defense and fast.